According to the article of Frontiers in Psychology that published on July 21, 2021, mental illness has become the third most common disability in the Philippines, wherein 6 million Filipinos live with depression and anxiety. Also, according to the Department of Health, the most common mental disorder in the Philippines are schizophrenia and bipolar with 1% or 1 million in population, followed by major depressive disorder with 17% of population, dementia with 5%, and epilepsy with 0 and 0.6%. This just tells us that you, me, and everyone is vulnerable to mental instability and damage.
Stability is a sign that someone is mentally stable. Generally, people who have a sense of being in control of their personal thoughts and actions. A sense of well-being is mentally stable also means the absence of mental disorder. Those people who have a depression or anxiety, and those people who has a feeling of disconnection or withdrawal from normal activities are mentally unstable. There are people that mentally unstable because of stressful life situations, financial problems, loved ones' death, and traumatic experiences. The reasons as to why this happens may vary. There are cases that the person is content with almost everything but still harnesses the sufficient elements to be called an unstable person. So, what is causing all of this?
Most people at some point feel worried, stressed, or even down about things that are going on in their lives. There are several factors in life that can have an impact on our mental health, like feelings of loneliness. These feelings are normal and usually pass, but if you don't go away and last for a long time, it can have a negative impact on your mental health and well-being. One of the reasons why people feel lonely or isolated, maybe they experience some mental conditions like depression and anxiety. Anger, vulnerability, feeling out of control, recollections of a traumatic event is the other factor that can trigger your mental illness. But don't worry, there's no need to be ashamed if you experience such things, because with proper care and assistance, we can overcome them.
While we'd want to emphasize certain minor habits, others, if exposed or repeated, can grow into something more powerful, requiring collective assistance of people who interact daily. It can be your best friend, a chill family member, your teachers or classmates, or even an influencer. Some of these might ring a bell to you, like for example, do you have trouble falling or staying asleep at night? Are you agitated or lonely? Isolated and overwhelmed, forgetting little details? Chronic stress causes these symptoms. Another example is panic attacks. Symptoms includes chest pain, feeling lightheaded, and breathing difficulties. And this may lead to anxiety, PTSD, or panic disorder.
To expand on what Janina and Gravelin said, mental illnesses are mental health conditions that affect our emotions, thoughts, and conducts. Mental illnesses are associated with distress or problems in functioning in our social life. Some mental illnesses only have minor ways to affect us, like obsessive-compulsive disorder, a chronic mental health condition where uncontrollable obsessions lead to compulsive behaviors that push a person to do something repeatedly. There are also severe mental illnesses like schizophrenia. People with schizophrenia struggle to think rationally, feel emotions, and distinguish between what is real and what isn't. Delusions, hallucinations, and abnormal speech and behavior are common in patients with schizophrenia. Currently, there are no treatments for schizophrenia, but there are ways to decrease its effects, such as practicing frequent relaxations, exercises, and meditations.
There is a saying, you can't heal in the same environment you got broken in the first place. Recovering and wanting to return back to your normal state, getting a peace of mind is a must, whether it be from a recent accident or a failed relationship. You need to recover and somehow get our feet back up.
1 in 13 will seriously consider suicide attempt and 1 in 40 will attempt suicide. Of course, this isn't just about self-harm. There are cases in which the person tries to ignore the trauma, but what they don't notice is themselves turning into someone they could barely recognize. Elevated rates of despair, anxiety, post-traumatic disorder, and suicide, as well as increased risk of cardiovascular disease and early mortality, are among the consequences. These health implications may vary depending on the victim's age and gender, as well as the type of abuse.
It really can help you heal if you can talk with someone who can listen to your experience with empathy and embrace your feelings rather than avoiding them.
As you begin to acknowledge your abuse for what it was, you will also begin to take back personal power of your life. When you decided to engage with your old wounds, be aware that it is normal to feel the same emotions you felt at the time of abuse. These painful feelings have remained inside you and will only be healed when you accept and move through them.
Just be patient and empathetic with yourself as you heal. Remind yourself that it's okay to feel confused, tense, scared, angry, or any other emotions that come up. These feelings are a normal part of the healing process and they are yours. It's okay to sit with them. Having and experiencing painful doesn't make you anything except courageous.
The good thing is that emotional discomfort will always become less painful over time. We can't avoid traumatic experiences, however, we can overcome it.
Recovery from a past traumatic experience is hard, but to those people who overcame it, it can be freeing and experiencing a new life. But have you ever considered making it better? Well, here are some healthy habits and practices for you to improve your mental health and keep it stable. Number 1. Express your emotions. Based on Kyle Berzosa, who experienced depression, talking with other survivors made her feel more better, more confident to stand again, and she became stronger in facing life challenges. Thus, releasing your emotions can help you feel relieved, and it can help you deal with the problems you've been carrying around in your head for a long time. Number 2. Pause for a moment. Taking a break allows your brain and body to get necessary recharge it needs to keep going, says Brittany Johnson, a licensed mental health counselor. You can do the things that makes you happy. By doing this, you're allowing yourself and your mind to rest, unstress, and bring back the energy and motivation it needs to be able to function properly.
Accept yourself as you are. We're all unique. It's far better to accept your individuality than to wish we were more like someone else. Self-acceptance brings us to contentment, improvement, and eases the feelings of guilt and unhappiness. Accepting yourself causes you to recognize your own strengths and weaknesses, which can aid in your growth and development as a person. Seek assistance. We aren't all gods. We all get tired or overwhelmed by how we feel or when things go wrong from time to time. If things become too much for you and you feel you can handle it any longer, seek for help or assistance. Based on Kylie Versosa, a 23-year-old celebrity, opens up about her struggle with depression, and she told that one of the effective ways she did to cope it was to reach out to psychiatrists and therapists, and it made her feel better and aware about the things that triggers her mental health.
Keep in touch. Strong bonds, supportive friends, and online social circles can actually help you deal with stress. They can make you feel valued and included. They can also give you a perspective change, and they can assist you in remaining active, remaining grounded, and resolving practical issues. And with that comes growth and development. While most people think this stops after puberty, a perspective and lifestyle change can come from literally anywhere. Like we've said, it depends on person to person. Some people believe in the interests of others and consider applying it to themselves. This can range from talents, routines, wants, pet peeves, and beliefs.
The important thing is being happier than you've ever been without being an inconvenience to other people. Our mind was made to be an ever-yielding space, so why not try it? Anyways, this is just another thing for your mental welfare. Toodles!